He's a great finisher. I think he's the best finisher in boxing. He's Joe Louis, he's Mike Tyson, he's Jack Dempsey. Three of the greatest finishers in the history of the sport. He's all of them.
Do you still watch boxing now? You're still into it? Do you enjoy watching boxing?
Yeah, because boxing is my passion, so that's why I'm enjoying watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian, like Naoya Inoue.
Inoue, amazing fight.
Yeah, he's a good fighter.
If you've been keeping an eye on boxing lately, chances are you've heard the name Naoya Inoue. And if you haven't, it's time to fix that. Nicknamed the Monster, this guy is tearing through the sport, leaving fans and opponents alike in awe. Undefeated, ridiculously skilled, and packing power that could make a heavyweight blush, Inoue has everyone asking the same question. How does he make it look so easy?
Oh yeah, I like Naoya. Before he became, I teach him in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. Naoya, if he's thinking to moving up in weight division, I hope that I can teach him and supervise his workout and training, and we can do that.
So you want to train him?
I wanna train him and supervise his training, or if he wants to moving up to higher weight division.
What did you think about his last performance?
Huh?
What did you think about his last performance?
Oh, fantastic! He's a good performance. Fast, quick, strong.
Even boxing legends, guys who've been through the wars and know what it takes to succeed, can't help but rave about him. So, why does Inoue strike fear into the hearts of his opponents? It's not just his skill, it's the whole package. He's got the power, the speed, the smarts, and the mental toughness to dominate anyone who steps into the ring with him. And then there's the psychological factor. Fighters know they're not just facing a boxer, they're facing a monster. Can anyone stop the monster? That's the big question. As of now, it doesn't look like anyone has the tools to stop him. He's not just beating his opponents, he's making it look easy. Even the top contenders in his weight class seem like underdogs when matched against him. Naoya Inoue isn't just a great fighter. He's a generational talent who's redefining what it means to dominate in boxing. The praise from legends like Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, and Floyd Mayweather isn't just hype. It's recognition of a fighter who's truly something special.
Inoue, Inoue deserves to be in a power. Absolutely. I think he's a hell of a fighter. A hell of a fighter. I won't take nothing away from him. Hell of a fighter. And I like him because I see he take a lot of my stuff from my playbook. But it's okay. That's boxing. You're supposed to take from the greats.
When boxing legend and former world champion Shawn Porter speaks, the boxing world listens. Recently, Porter shared his thoughts on Naoya Inoue, and his glowing praise has added even more fuel to the hype surrounding the Japanese sensation. Inoue's meteoric rise, his dominating performances, and his electric style have captured the attention of fans and fighters alike. But it was his performance in a recent fight that truly left Porter in awe. The former welterweight champion lauded Inoue's confidence and even went as far as to suggest that Inoue could become the next Manny Pacquiao, a fighter who transcended borders and became a global boxing icon. Confidence is often what separates great fighters from truly elite ones. During his recent fight, Naoya Inoue demonstrated a level of self-assurance that Porter couldn't help but admire. Reflecting on Inoue's approach, Porter remarked that it was clear Inoue was at the top of his game and exuded confidence. He noted that performing such moves so early in a match typically required knowing the opponent was already broken down. Porter observed that Inoue seemed to be fully aware of his abilities and executed them with precision and assurance.
Now you're a bad boy.
Yep.
When you at the top of when you at the tippy top and you pulling that kind of stuff off this early, usually you want to know your opponent is broken down before you do those kind of those things. And I was like, yo, my man's confident. He know exactly what he's designed to do, and he's doing it.
What Porter was referring to wasn't just Inoue's technical ability, but his ability to take calculated risks early in the fight. Instead of waiting to systematically break his opponent down, Inoue displayed an almost audacious confidence in his strategy and execution, proving that he's operating on an entirely different level. This kind of mental strength is rare in boxing. It's one thing to have power, speed, and skill, but to have the self-belief to pull off risky moves at the highest level of competition, that's something special. Shawn Porter didn't stop at praising Inoue's confidence. He went a step further, predicting that Inoue could be the next Manny Pacquiao, not just in terms of skill, but in how he might captivate audiences worldwide. Porter expressed his belief that between Isaac Cruz and Inoue, they might have found the next foreign fighter capable of resonating with the American audience. He shared his view that Inoue could be the next Manny Pacquiao, not necessarily in terms of moving up multiple weight classes, but as someone who is highly explosive, eye-catching, and appealing both as a fighter and as a person.
I thought that between Isaac Cruz and Inoue, we might have the next fighter, foreign fighter for the sake of words, who could translate to the American audience. I do believe that that is Inoue. I think Inoue is the next Manny Pacquiao. Not at that going all the way up the weight class and all that stuff, but someone who's extremely explosive, eye-catching, and also inviting to who he is as a fighter and as a person. Yeah. It could be him, so I'm looking forward to that.
Like Pacquiao in his prime, Inoue is a firecracker in the ring. His lightning-fast combinations and devastating power leave opponents reeling and fans on the edge of their seats. Pacquiao's appeal went beyond his fighting style. He was relatable, humble, and approachable. Porter sees similar traits in Inoue, making him not just a boxing star, but a potential global ambassador for the sport. Pacquiao was a fighter who brought international audiences together. While Inoue has already achieved superstar status in Japan, his electrifying performances and growing fan base in the US suggest he's on a similar trajectory. Naoya Inoue's potential to be the next Manny Pacquiao isn't just about boxing, it's about his ability to resonate with fans worldwide. Inoue is explosive, calculated, and entertaining, a rare combination. He doesn't just win fights, he dominates them in spectacular fashion. Fans don't just watch his fights, they experience them. Much like Pacquiao, Inoue carries himself with humility outside the ring. Despite his dominance, he's respectful and grounded, making him a role model for aspiring fighters and an appealing figure for fans. Historically, breaking into the US market has been a major hurdle for international fighters. However, Inoue's ability to put on thrilling performances has already earned him recognition in America. Porter's comments underscore how well Inoue's style and persona translate to a global audience. It's not just about reaching the top, it's about staying there. Inoue has shown he's more than capable of dominating different weight classes, much like Pacquiao did throughout his career. When a legend like Manny Pacquiao, an 8-division world champion and one of the greatest boxers of all time, praises a fighter, the boxing world pays attention. In a recent interview with former super middleweight champion Carl Froch, Pacquiao shared his admiration for Naoya Inoue, calling him an amazing fighter and expressing hope for his continued success across multiple weight divisions. During the interview, Carl Froch asked Pacquiao whether he still followed boxing after retiring. Pacquiao, whose career is synonymous with his passion for the sport, confirmed that his love for boxing remains strong. Pacquiao's enduring enthusiasm for the sport isn't surprising. Despite stepping away from professional competition, his connection to boxing runs deep. He remains a fan, a mentor, and a source of inspiration for fighters worldwide. When asked if Pacquiao had a favorite active fighter, the Filipino icon didn't hesitate to name Naoya Inoue, praising his skills and potential. These words carry significant weight, given Pacquiao's unparalleled experience and his understanding of what it takes to succeed at the highest levels of the sport.
Do you still watch boxing now? Are you still into it? Do you enjoy watching boxing?
Yeah, because boxing is my passion, so that's why I'm enjoying watching boxing.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Right now, Asian like Naoya
Inoue, amazing fight.
He's a good fighter, and I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
Yeah, he probably will. Such a quality fighter.
As boxing fans continue to debate potential matchups and pound-for-pound rankings, few comparisons generate as much excitement as the prospect of a showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Naoya the Monster Inoue. While both fighters dominate their respective divisions with explosive styles, Gervonta Davis has been candid about his thoughts on Inoue's abilities and the possibility of a future fight between them. In a recent interview, Davis was asked about his perspective on Inoue as a fighter, given their simultaneous rise in pound-for-pound rankings over the years. Davis acknowledged that he was a relatively new fan of Inoue, having started watching him only a couple of years ago. However, he expressed great admiration for Inoue's skill set, describing him as a fighter who possesses the complete package and emphasizing that Inoue is undoubtedly one of the most well-rounded fighters. This acknowledgement is significant, as Davis himself is regarded as one of the most complete fighters in boxing. For a fighter of his caliber to recognize Inoue as the whole package highlights the Japanese champion's exceptional technical prowess, power, and versatility.
Just explain kind of what you think.
When asked about the possibility of facing Inoue in the ring, Davis expressed skepticism, downplaying the likelihood of such a matchup. He stated that he didn't see himself fighting Inoue, describing the idea as a stretch, and reiterating that he honestly didn't believe it would happen. Davis's reluctance to entertain the idea may stem from the significant weight difference between the two fighters. While Inoue has climbed the ranks from lighter divisions, Davis's career has been built around heavier weight classes like lightweight and super lightweight, making a matchup between the two a logistical challenge. In another interview, Davis was asked about the potential for a future fight with Inoue, perhaps at a catchweight. Davis's response was both respectful and analytical. When the reporter asked if a matchup at a catchweight could happen someday, Davis entertained the idea but acknowledged the challenges. Tank mentioned that a fight with Inoue would be a fun one, and noted that it would be highly technical. He expressed that, while the matchup would be exciting, he believed he would likely be too big for Inoue. Tank described the potential fight as a dream scenario, emphasizing his excitement and confidence about the idea. Davis described the hypothetical matchup as a dream fight, emphasizing the technical brilliance both fighters would bring to the ring. However, he also reiterated the size disparity between them, suggesting that his physical advantage might be too much for Inoue to overcome.
I like, what's the guy from Japan? Inoue? Yeah.
Do you foresee potentially at some day you guys meeting together, maybe at a catchweight, or maybe if he keeps going up in weight?
Probably. Yeah. That would be like a fun fight. Crazy. Yeah, that would be a fun fight. Now that would be technical. That fight right there, like me and him. But I think I'd be too big for him.
Probably, yeah.
I'd be too big for him. Yeah. But that fight would be like. It's like a dream fight. Yeah. Facts.
A fight between Gervonta Davis and Naoya Inoue would undoubtedly capture the imagination of boxing fans worldwide. Both fighters bring unique attributes to the table that make them dominant in their respective divisions. Known for his devastating knockout power, Davis has ended most of his fights in spectacular fashion. Whether boxing on the inside or counterpunching, Davis adapts his style to exploit opponents' weaknesses. Tank Davis's ability to make mid-fight adjustments has been a key factor in his success. Meanwhile, Inoue's sharp combinations and lightning-fast reflexes make him one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport. Despite fighting at lighter weights, Inoue's knockout ratio rivals that of heavier fighters like Davis. Moreover, Inoue's ability to control distance, feint, and counterpunch is a testament to his elite skill set. The primary obstacle to a Davis-Inoue fight is the weight difference. While Davis has competed as high as 140 pounds, Inoue has yet to move beyond the super bantamweight, 122 pounds division. Meeting at a catchweight would require both fighters to make significant adjustments, potentially impacting their performance. Meanwhile, when a legend like Mike Tyson speaks highly of a current fighter, it's a moment that resonates deeply within the boxing community. Recently, Tyson shared his admiration for Naoya Inoue, the Japanese boxing phenom who has dominated the lower weight divisions with his explosive power and technical prowess. Tyson's comments also touched on a potential matchup between Inoue and Gervonta "Tank" Davis, sparking excitement about a possible future clash. In his recent remarks, Tyson expressed his admiration for Inoue, calling him really awesome, and underscoring the fighter's undeniable skill and potential. For Tyson, someone who has seen and experienced some of the greatest fighters of all time, calling Inoue the best is a significant compliment. Tyson's endorsement highlights the awe that many feel watching Inoue's performances, as the Japanese boxer has quickly become a global sensation due to his impressive knockout power, speed, and tactical brilliance. Inoue's journey through the lower weight classes has led to whispers about a potential move up to 130 pounds, where one of the sport's most electrifying talents, Gervonta Davis, competes. The idea of a showdown between the two has captivated boxing fans, and Tyson was asked whether he could see this fight happening. His response was both lighthearted and insightful, touching on the nuances of a potential matchup between the two champions. Tyson seems open to the idea of a catchweight fight between Inoue and Davis, suggesting a potential 132-pound catchweight as a middle ground. While the weight disparity between the two is significant, Inoue has competed mostly at 118 and 122 pounds, while Davis has fought at 130 and 135 pounds. Tyson is willing to entertain the possibility, even if it's not the most conventional matchup.
Do you see the monster Inoue? Do you think he's the best pound for pound, or the winner of this fight is the best fighter in the world?
Japanese fighter is the best fighter.
Mike,
For my opinion, I'm nobody, but I think it's the best fighter.
Mike, the idea's been thrown out there for him to move up to 130 fights and fight Gervonta Davis down the line. Could you see that fight happening?
Yeah, listen, how much he wants to move? He's 122 now, right?
When it comes to Naoya Inoue, the Japanese boxing sensation known for his ferocious knockout power and technical brilliance, it's clear that his impact goes beyond just the fans and media. In a recent interview, Chris Algieri, a former world champion and current boxing commentator, revealed his deep admiration for Inoue, calling him his favorite fighter in the world. His enthusiasm for Inoue is evident, as he described the lengths he goes to in order to catch the fighter's bouts, and how much joy it brings him. Chris Algieri's admiration for Naoya Inoue is more than just casual appreciation. It's a genuine passion for watching a fighter at the peak of his craft. For Algieri, watching Inoue's fights isn't just about the sport. It's about the experience of witnessing greatness. The time difference between the US and Japan often means Inoue's fights take place early in the morning for Algieri, but that doesn't stop him from eagerly waking up at dawn to catch every moment. His dedication to watching Inoue reflects not only his respect for the fighter, but also the excitement and joy that Inoue's bouts bring to fans all over the world. Moreover, Chris Algieri's ritual surrounding Inoue's fights is both amusing and telling of how much the Japanese fighter has captivated him. He goes into detail about how he sets aside time to watch the fights live, despite the early hours. Algieri's description paints a vivid picture of his early morning routine. Armed with a cup of espresso and a passion for the fight, he immerses himself in the action, yelling at the TV with the excitement of a true fan. The image of him waking up early and getting emotionally involved in the fight, despite the time difference and the discomfort of his neighbors, speaks to the magnetic pull that Naoya Inoue has on those who appreciate high-level boxing. It's clear that Inoue's ability to deliver explosive moments in the ring has turned his fights into an event for fans like Algieri.
Flat out, he's my favorite fighter in the world. Watching that guy fight, man, and waking up at 6:30 a.m. to watch the undercard to get ready for a Naoya Inoue fight has become a bit of a pastime for me now. I love it. I'm up there. I have my espresso. I'm sitting outside watching. My neighbors hate me because I'm yelling at the camera at 7:30 in the morning. Every knockdown that happened in this fight, and there was a bunch of them. I mean, I was screaming at the TV.
During a recent interview, Canelo Alvarez was asked to share his thoughts on the top 4 fighters in the sport today, skill-wise. His answer reflected not only his deep respect for the fighters currently at the top, but also his recognition of the sheer depth of talent in modern boxing. When asked to name the top 4, Canelo responded without hesitation, naming some of the most talked-about fighters in the boxing world. Canelo's choices are telling. They highlight the fighters he believes possess not only the technical skills but also the physical and mental attributes necessary to be at the top of the sport. Canelo Alvarez's mention of Naoya Inoue speaks volumes about the Japanese boxer's growing global recognition. Inoue has earned widespread acclaim for his exceptional skill set, ferocious power, and unmatched precision. His ability to dominate in multiple weight classes, particularly his brutal knockout power and well-rounded boxing style, places him among the best in the world. Inoue's rise has been meteoric, as he continues to impress both fans and experts alike. His success in the lower weight classes, including his impressive title defenses, has earned him respect from some of the biggest names in boxing. Canelo's endorsement of Inoue highlights the recognition the Japanese fighter has garnered, even from established champions. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury's U.S. promoter Todd Duboev believes Naoya Inoue is head and heels above Alexander Usyk in class. The Ukrainian maestro etched his name in history last year, becoming the first undisputed heavyweight champion in 25 years after edging out Fury in a razor-thin split decision in Saudi Arabia. By achieving this feat, he joined the exclusive ranks of Inoue and Terence Crawford as only the third man to become an undisputed champion in 2 weight classes during the 4-belt era, having already unified the cruiserweight division back in 2018. He moved to the top of the coveted Ring Magazine pound-for-pound rankings after the victory. In December, Usyk defeated Fury again in their much-anticipated rematch. However, Dubois feels that Inoue, his client, should be at the top. The top-ranked president told TalkSport, "I think Naoya Inoue is the best in the world. Alexander Usyk is not even close." People have this infatuation with pound for pound, but those rankings are easily moved by the last performance. If I showed you round 5 of Fury versus Usyk, and I said he's the #1 pound for pound guy, you would go, What? How can he be number 1? He's being hit with every fucking uppercut. Dubois added, his head is up, his hands are down, that's my opinion. We haven't really seen that with Inoue. I mean, we saw a flash knockdown in his last fight, but that was nothing. I'm not knocking Usyk, but you did see him get hit by a body shot in the Dubois fight, which people thought was controversial. I think Crawford is a terrific fighter, but I think he offers a different game to what Inoue does. Inoue has masterfully conquered every division and takes on everyone. He has a confidence about him, and the way he dismantles people is really unique. According to the Ring magazine, Inoue was ranked number 2, with Crawford 1 spot below him. On the other hand, there was a startled stillness among 55,000 supporters. For the first time in his 12-year professional career, Naoya Inoue fell to the ground. Luis Neri of Mexico seemed to have shaken the normally composed Japanese boxer. In a display worthy of his flawless record, Inoue shook off the knockdown, regained control, and swiftly imposed his trademark superiority over Neri. He sent Neri to the canvas in the 2nd and 5th rounds, before decisively finishing the bout in the 6th. For a fleeting moment, silence blankets Tokyo Dome, before erupting in deafening cheers as their hometown hero extends his flawless streak, advancing to an impressive 27-0 in his professional career, with 24 of those victories coming by knockout. After an early scare, Inoue secured a triumphant win, preserving his status as the undisputed super bantamweight champion. His performance catapulted him to the top of the Ring magazine's pound-for-pound rankings, surpassing boxing greats like Alexander Usyk, Terence Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez. Inoue is the favorite choice for the boxing aficionado. According to boxing analyst Manuk Akopian, despite differing views on who is currently the best in the world, Inoue has held a spot in the Ring's top 10 pound-for-pound rankings for an impressive 366 weeks, second only to Crawford. Undoubtedly, he stands among the world's elite and most decorated boxers. Why then? Does he not enjoy the same level of fame outside of his own Japan as his peers? Like many fighters, Inoue began his boxing journey in his homeland, where he swiftly made a name for himself. In just his 6th professional bout, he captured the WBC light flyweight title, solidifying his status as a rising star in the sport. Aside from a handful of bouts overseas, including a match in Glasgow in 2019 and 2 appearances in the US, the first taking place behind closed doors, all of his fights have taken place on home soil in Japan. Inoue's rising star is undeniable, as seen in the sold-out crowd for his May showdown against Neri at the Tokyo Dome. This historic event marked the first boxing match in the arena since Mike Tyson's stunning loss to James "Buster" Douglas in 1990. Japanese boxing expert Daisuke Sugiura told CNN Sport that Inoue is a legitimate superstar among his compatriots, adding that he is also one of the best and most exciting active fighters in the world. Sugiura, having spoken with Inoue on several occasions, highlights that outside the ring, Inoue prefers a quieter life, avoiding the constant attention that many of his contemporaries embrace. He said, "In the past, it was said that he did not particularly like to deal with the media. Not that he didn't like the media, but more like he was shy and not the best interview. But recently, he has been getting more attention and seems to have become better at dealing with interviews." For Inoue, it's the exact opposite. Although fighting in Japan creates a challenging road trip for his foes, their purses ease the discomfort. Their tongues are wagging out for an invitation. Inoue's bouts within his weight classes have been largely lopsided, with his sheer dominance fueling calls for him to move up in weight. This shift is driven by the allure of higher-profile opponents in the heavier divisions, sparking anticipation for some potentially massive matchups. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis is one opponent in particular that fans have been demanding Inoue take on.
Tank, you think about the monster from Japan here one day before your deal's up? Yeah, you, because it's been mentioned before. Whoa, whoa.
So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.